Ever feel like, the world just doesn't get you? Like
Oh.
your values totally clashing with what everyone else seems to think?
Yeah, I know that feeling.
It's kind of isolating, right?
Totally.
Well, today's deep dive, we're tackling that feeling head on. We're diving into this idea of the world's hatred, and we're going right to the source, the Gospel of John, chapter 15, verses 17 through 27.
Oh, yeah, those are some powerful verses.
Yeah.
Jesus gets really real with his disciples in that passage
Right. It's almost like a last conversation before.
before things get really intense.
Exactly. So, can you set the scene for us? What's going on that leads up to this conversation?
Well, Jesus knows what's coming. The crucifixion, the persecution, he's preparing his disciples for all of it. And he's pretty upfront. He's telling them, look, following me, it's not going to be easy.
And he keeps using that word, the world. But he's not just talking about, like, nature and stuff.
No, not at all. He's talking about a whole system of values, a way of thinking that's opposed to God.
Which is where that phrase, the world's hatred, comes in. It's kind of jarring, I think.
It definitely makes you stop and think. I mean, what does it even mean for the world to hate Jesus?
Yeah.
He was all about love and compassion.
Right. So what's going on there?
Well, think about it. Jesus, everything he represented, was a total challenge to the way things were. He spoke out against injustice. He healed the sick. He forgave sins. He basically flipped the script on everything the world valued: power, wealth, status.
It was a total disruptor.
Exactly. And that's what sparked the world's hatred. Not hatred for Jesus himself, but for what he exposed about the world.
It's like that old saying, the truth hurts.
Right. And Jesus, as the embodiment of truth, well, he brought a lot of hurt to light.
And the thing is, he didn't shy away from it. He tells his disciples to love one another, which, when you really think about it, is a pretty radical thing to say, considering what he's just laid out.
It is. But that's the core of it, right? Love in the face of hatred. Unity in the face of division. It's a deliberate choice to live differently, even when the world pushes back.
Which he makes clear they will face. He's very direct about the fact that his followers will be persecuted, just like he was.
He doesn't sugarcoat it, that's for sure. But it's not meant to scare them off. It's more like, hey, I'm giving you the full picture here. It's going to be tough, but you're not alone.
And that's where the Comforter comes in, right? The Holy Spirit.
Absolutely. It's like he's saying, I know it's a lot, but I'm sending help.
What's interesting to me is how closely he connects the promise of the Holy Spirit to the reality of persecution. It's almost like he's saying, here's the bad news, and here's how you get through it.
It's a powerful reminder that we're not meant to navigate this world alone.
So how does this translate to us today? I mean, most of us listening aren't facing, literal persecution,
Right.
but we do come up against that world's hatred in different ways, right?
All the time. Maybe it's subtle pressure to conform, to compromise your values to fit in, or maybe it's staying silent when you feel called to speak up. That tension is still so relevant today.
So how do we do it? How do we stand firm in our faith, even when the world feels totally opposed to everything we believe?
I think it goes back to those core teachings: love, unity,
Yeah.
courage, and that constant reliance on the Holy Spirit.
It's not easy, that's for sure.
It isn't.
Yeah.
But it's in those moments when we choose love over hate, when we find the strength to stand up for what we believe, that we truly experience the power of our faith.
That's a good word. And on that note, we're going to go ahead and wrap up this deep dive. We hope this conversation has given you some things to ponder, some new insights into this passage and its relevance for us today. As always, keep asking the tough questions, keep seeking truth, even and especially when it's hard.
And never underestimate the power of the Holy Spirit. It's there for you, always, even when you feel most alone.
So good. Until next time, everyone.